All right, all right. Now I'm trying to run more than one of these StreamYard videos at a time. Let's see how well it does. All right. Let me get you guys the link. We're going to share funny, crazy stories on the show. Good to see you guys. I see Misty Johns, My Benzo Hell, Real Talk Recovering. It's going down. Let me share you guys a link here. Hold on. And I'm going to share it on both sides. You guys can see it on the Facebook side as well as the YouTube side. Okay. Rob M, what's up? Exploring with Morgan. Stacy, Untouched Poop. What's up? E, what's up? Kurt, like I said, I don't know if he's doing too well right now, guys. So I appreciate this. If you guys are checking this out, please share this out with someone. Make sure you let someone know about this. We're going to have fun today. We're not going to get too serious. Of course, we're going to enjoy ourselves and share stories. And you guys can come join me live. So I want to hear some funny stuff. Like I said, this is serious, but share it out. Like this video, comment down below. It helps this stuff grow, you know. And I want you guys to join me in this conversation. Here is the link. I shared it on YouTube. Let me get it on Facebook here. And if you're watching on Facebook and you just want to come on and share your story, we will have that option available. And I appreciate everyone, for real. So right now with the coronavirus, everything's crazy. I said I was going to do this at 5, but I realized a lot of other people are doing their recovery meetings and stuff at 5. So I don't know exactly yet what time I want to make this happen. I want to try and do it each day. Appreciate the likes on the videos. I appreciate the comments, and I appreciate you guys sharing this stuff out. All right, we're going to go ahead and jump right into this and get into some crazy stories. Mind you, before I bring this person on, I want you to understand something. We're not making light of the fact that we did bad things, of course, while we were in active addiction. But it just shows you how far we've come and some of the crazy stuff we've done while we were using. And you guys are more than welcome to share your story. So we're going to break the ice here. And Nicole, what's up?
What's up? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Cool.
Yeah, we just jumped over from her channel and here we are on mine. How do you want to start this out, Nicole? What do you think we need to say? I mean, a lot of people might be like, yo, this is a little over the top here, but share this out too, by the way. Anybody who's watching this, make sure you share it out. Someone might want to share where they're at. It doesn't have to be funny. You know, you can talk about where you're at too if you need to. We're here for you. But we're going to tell you some of the crazy stuff so you can tell we're talking the language of addiction. We definitely know what it's like. We've been there and we made it out. Nicole, tell us something crazy that you did that you can laugh about looking back in active addiction.
Okay. Well, I was thinking, because I have so many stories that I could tell you guys, but I was thinking back to probably one of the craziest things that I've ever done that could have really got me in a lot of trouble. So here, let me set the tone for y'all. It was February 14th, the weekend of Valentine's Day, and me and my husband, we were boyfriend and girlfriend at the time, we wanted to rent a hotel room so that way we could get high and have sex all night. Okay? So we were going to find a hotel room, and we were trying to be on the cheap side because we wanted to save all of our money for dope, you know? Right. So we went out to Southwest Little Rock, which is like the hood in Little Rock. And we went into the Ritz to try and like just rent a room for like one night. We went in there, and the guy at the front desk was just like looking at us crazy. And we were like, we need a room. And there was vacancies, and he denied us a room. And we were like, what the hell? Now you guys also have to understand that we were high on benzodiazepines. We had taken like so many Xanax bars, so many Klonopins, and we were probably slurring our speech. We were probably looking crazy. So he was like, no, I'm not going to rent you a room. And my husband was like, what the hell, man? So we walked out. One thing about me when I take benzos, they make me feel like I can do anything. They make me feel like I am a badass bitch, when really right. I've never even gotten into a fist fight before. Okay.
Oh, snap.
So I'm pissed that this dude will not rent us a room. And my husband has a concealed handgun license. So he carries a gun everywhere we go.
Right.
And he had his Glock in the car in his little box that he keeps it in. So I went inside the car and I got this Glock and I walked into the front of the Ritz Hotel inside the lobby and started waving this gun around, talking about, you're going to rent us a room. You're going to rent us a room. Like, just like a crazy lunatic. Okay. Neil is like walking in the lobby door behind me and sees me with this gun and just runs out and gets in the truck. Okay.
He knew there was a line you crossed a long time ago.
He was like, I'm not in this. I don't know who she is. So I don't know what happened. I got scared. I think that's what happened, because he picked up the phone and then he pulled a gun out from underneath the counter, because this was like a hood rich hotel, like where prostitutes and people that smoke crack like will rent a room for like 6 hours and then leave, like
Right.
It was really seedy. So this guy already had a gun to protect himself. He pulled that gun out, and I mean, my heart just dropped down to my stomach. I think that reality hit me. And I had on this like tie up the front shirt and a tank top underneath it. I am such a criminal-minded person, and I guess I watch too much TV. I ripped that shirt off, walked out, tied it around our license plate, and jumped in the Xterra, and we skirt off into the sunset. We went down, and it was raining, and we got on the interstate, and we turned, and the whole Xterra went turned a circle. I was like, we're dying. We're going to die. And then somehow Neil like straightened it out. And then we went on and everything was cool. Just like nothing ever happened.
Nicole, I just realized something too. So I'm learning this StreamYard. I had the Facebook Live going and I thought it would have you in both. It's not. So I got people going, I could barely hear her, but I don't see her in the 6 minutes and 47 or 45 seconds on Facebook side. And I'm over here thinking we're going live on both. And I'm like realizing someone's sitting in here there's like 10 people on Facebook sitting there for 6 minutes and 45 seconds, not able to hear anything, not able to see anything, hanging out. So I don't know. I'm going to have to figure this thing out. But you crossed that line. You didn't have obviously a clear mind. I want to mention that benzos are no joke when it comes to this, because my brother Kurt had this truck. Okay. He had this little, I don't know what it was, this little green truck, 2-door, they went out one night, super messed up on benzos. I could only imagine the things that they did, but all I know is they pulled a gun on a guy trying to get money from him, because he's just whacked out of your mind completely on these. This guy pulls out a shotgun on them, blast out their front windshield, blast out their tire on the front side, and they've got a shotgun, hole in the front on the side of their truck. And the truck, in the morning, I come outside. I don't have a clue at this time. I'm not even using at the time. I come out and I look at the truck, and the truck's on there's flap of rubber tire, and the rim is like it's been driven on for a while. Like they drove it wherever they were on its rims home. And I thought, what did y'all do last night? And they're like, dude, I don't even really know. I know that we tried to get money from this guy and pulled a gun on him, and he pulled a gun on us and actually shot at us. And I was just thinking, holy crap, man. Benzos are not a joke. If you're abusing them, crazy.
Well, me and you, we decided after that guy wouldn't let us get in the hotel, we found a really nice hotel by the airport and ended up getting a room. And we like stayed up all night doing, all kinds of different stuff. But it was so crazy. I remembered, and I woke up and I was like, wow, why did I do that? And then if you heard my husband's side of the story, he'll tell it, but then he tells it in like a different way from his perspective. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
know.
So
we'll get together and I start arguing with him about, no, this is how it went. And he's like, no, that's how it went. And it's just crazy when I think back to how much danger we put ourselves in. And
I'm going to tell you a horrible, but yet I can laugh about it now. But let's just put it this way. When I got into recovery, I took care of things in a way that I know I wasn't going to be gone in prison, so that my kids still had a parent. Because, they say like not to do things to harm other people, right? Well, this would harm my own children in the respect of what happened. So I had to pay amends back in this way. But I was desperate, fiending. like not high, needed something, was willing to do practically anything to get drugs. And I was a big thief. You know, I like to steal to get my money. And I knew about a people that were not home. I knew they were out of town, older people. And me and Kurt, we came together and we decided we're going to get something. It's a camera, something, you know, worth value to go get straight tonight, just so we don't feel sick. This house was practically impenetrable. I mean, they had it really locked down, and I had to maneuver my way in. Okay. We get in this house and we're like, listen, anything that we find together, we will come together and we will, you know, get high together. Like whatever we get goes down the middle, blah, blah, blah. If you find any money, let me know. If I find any money, I'll let you know. We're looking for money. We're looking for stuff. And you're not thinking, your frontal lobar cortex is really misfiring. You don't know what, you're not able to make good decisions. And that's hard to describe to someone who's never done this. We leave the house later on. I got this baggie of like BS, literally. Like I got a camera, like a little cheap camera. I got a few little things and a bunch of change. And I'm sitting here going through pennies, like 1, 2, 3, and I'm sweating. And Kurt's like looking at me all funny. And I don't know why he wasn't into this, like pennies with me. You know, I'm like, I'm going to find $20 in change. Like, come on. And he's like, hey, why don't you check that box with the camera? There might be some money in it. And I'm like, dude, I just checked. He's no, check it. He messed up because when I went to open the box, there was money in it, $20. And I said, dude, I literally just looked in this box and there was no money in it. And I looked at him and said, I said, stop right now.
He found
what did you do? You know, so that was immediately. And he's like, okay, found $200. So he tells me he finds $200. 20. Well, guess what? We ended up going and getting straight and did our thing. Come to find out 3 days later, he found $500.
Your brother is scandalous.
Yes. So, but I had to make amends to these people down the road. And the way I did is because they didn't want me to, if it was someone I didn't know, they'd have just thrown me in prison. But I had to make amends to these people. I had to go back and actually try to make it up to them and pay them back. I paid them back the money, but all I could do was apologize. And they were older. They were very understanding. But yeah, the crap that he did in addiction, it was my idea to begin with. Number one, I do take the blame, but I was like, we're going in. I have a lick, blah, blah, blah. He went in with me and he literally found it. Pocketed it in his own. And I'm like, dude, how many times when I was down to my last little bit, you know, you're so desperate and I shared with you. And yet you have all this money and you couldn't even freaking, he split the 200 down the middle. Knowing it's cool. I got $400 out of this and he got 100. That's the crap that I would do. And it happened often, man.
I've done the same thing. Me and my sister, we used to get high together. And I've done the same thing to my sister where, you know, I had like a gram and I would give her like one shot out of it, you know, like and because it was like, in my mind, I was like, she needs to be happy I'm giving her anything, you know, because she wouldn't have this without me.
That's true. That's true. That is true. And I'm sure there's so many stories. I wanted to tell you about my wife's scenario because I'm sure you have some stuff with your husband that they're trying to hide from you. My wife, I knew, I had my spidey senses on. I knew that she was using, like 100%. There's just no doubt. You can see it. I don't even have to find the drugs yet to know that you're using. So I told her on her way home from work, I was like, you better get home now because I'm about to piss test you. And she's like, fine. Okay. You know, like, no problem. And I'm like, yeah, So she stops at Walmart and thinks she's going to get some type of thing that's going to keep her from being able to piss hot. And she didn't have enough time, but it only changed her urine to orange. Okay. So it was like the color dyed and it was so fake, so fake. So she pees and she has her legs closed. And I'm like, I've seen you push out 3 big old 9-pound babies. Don't act like you're trying to hide because I'm trying to have my security. Like, no, you're full of it. And especially right now. She takes the cup and she dunks it in the toilet and thinks I'm going to dilute it, you know, and she pulls it out and there's a piece of toilet paper in it. You know what I mean? And I didn't even notice. She pulls it out And like, I didn't even realize it because I was so frustrated and upset at the time. She hands me the cup. And when she did, I remember I just knew right away, and I stuck my fingers down in it, like, how nasty. What if it was pee? I washed my hands, whatever. But I stuck my hand down and it was cold. And I looked at her and I said, you've been lying to me. And she just, every time that happens, waterfalls. Like she just breaks. Because then it's like the truth really can set you free. Like, now I know. Now that deep, dark secret you have can let go. And how many people do you talk to who are like, they don't know, my mom doesn't know, or, and they're afraid to tell them. But once they do, all the weight's gone. Like they get a release.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Neil, can you hear me good?
Yeah.
Okay. Neil, with my husband, we got sober together, and he stayed sober for 2 years. And I was like, this is amazing. Everything's going so good. He's got 2 years. I've got 2 years because we got sober at the same time. Then his dad passed away, and I knew he was going to struggle, but I didn't realize how bad it was going to be. And he always is at work, and I'm here at the house. Like, he works a lot, so I'm here with our son. I had this feeling one day, like, I know you know what I'm talking about, just like you said, your spidey senses. It's like when your significant other is doing something behind your back, it's like all of a sudden you just feel this, like, my heart went in my stomach. And so I called him on the phone, and anytime my husband's getting high, his voice goes up 2 octaves. It's like high pitched.
Hey, baby.
And I'm like, hey, babe, what are you doing? He's like, nothing, just working, and I'm like, I knew right then. I was like, he's high. He's on either methamphetamines or cocaine. Like, I can tell it right down to the drug. If he starts slurring, then he's on benzos.
Right.
And, I'm like, I just know it. I said, you need to come home as soon as you get off. Do not pass go. Do not clip $200. Just come straight home. And he did not come home at 10 o'clock at night. I knew it. And then the next morning when I woke up, he came home. There was $600 missing out of our checking account.
Oh,
and we don't have money like that. That was our car payment and insurance. He had went on a crack smoking bender. He was leaving his job, smoking crack, then coming back because he's the manager. Then leaving again, going to get some more, and coming back. He almost lost his job over that, because they were like, what is going on with Mr. Neil? Mr. Neil's like not coming to work. He's leaving and coming back. $600 worth of crack cocaine down. It was like, I couldn't believe it. I was bawling my eyes out. I was crying. And then when I confront him, he will deny until the ends of the world. He still denies things to me to this day. In our recovery. And I'm like, oh.
You just want him to say it. Yeah, I feel you. Like, I know my wife. Let me tell you a little story about the wife that she's going to have to tell on her own story from her channel, but I'm going to share some of her thunder, if you will. She used to be prescribed Adderall, and she'd sneak it behind my back. She's a like Adderall thing, whereas opiates were mine, and alcohol. I like those two mostly. I dabbled with everything, but my favorite two were alcohol and opiates. Opiates because, God, if you've done them, you know what I'm talking about. And then alcohol because it's socially acceptable. And my father never frowned upon me drinking because he was an alcoholic. So there was that shame there that I wasn't going to be, And so my wife would do these Adderall. And one day she had the prescription. And I remember I found them and I hid them in my truck. And I had my truck locked. She would have to get my keys, go into the truck to get it, right? And I thought, I know how many are in there. This chick behind my back for months was going in there, grabbing a capsule, opening it, pouring some of the beads, and then putting it back and putting the staples back on the prescription bag, making it look like no one even opened the bag. So this is back in the day. I knew a buddy of mine, close friend, who was already prescribed them and who was wanting more. And I was like, look, I'll flip them to you. So I go to flip them. He comes over and he calls me back 5 minutes later and he goes, yo, what are you doing? You trying to hit me over the head? You got like a quarter of beads inside these capsules. All you got to do is look up at the light. You can see they're empty. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And I contact the wife and she's like, oh, I forgot to tell you. I was draining those for a long time, and some of them probably don't have much in them at all. And I was like, oh my gosh. Like just the headache. And when I first got clean, like I still had practices that I needed to get rid of. I remember going to a meeting and saying, dude, I can go and sell these Opanas right now. 3 of these Opanas and make $50 in like 30 minutes. Who wouldn't want that? And I remember going into a meeting and the guy looked at me one time and he's like, you're a monkey selling bananas and you're telling me you're not going to eat one at some point? And I realized then, I was like, damn, he's got a good point. I shouldn't be selling bananas and not, one day I'm going to be hungry, So I was like, let me not play around.
I think we all struggle with that kind of stuff. I know, when I first got on Suboxone, I still had like some addict behaviors, and I wanted to help all my friends who were struggling coming off of opiates. And so like if somebody called me and was like, hey, can I buy Suboxone? I'd be like, sure, come on over, $20, baby, for a strip. Right. And then I started realizing that the more I was doing it, the closer I was getting to taking Xanax, because a lot of the people that would come over that were coming off opiates would be having Xanaxes. And that's like, Xanax for some reason was always my kryptonite, because I could take a Xanax and then I was going to do everything else. I would get high on Xanax and then I would take opiates, I would take meth, I would do everything. It would like open up that door,
Yeah.
And so I was selling like 10 of my Suboxones a month. This is 5 years ago though. So this is at the beginning of my recovery.
I get it.
And I was making a good $100 a month off of my subs, selling some of them. And then my sponsor, I finally came clean to her and told her, like, I've been making $20 a pop off these subs. And she was like, you're going to relapse.
Yeah.
You're going to relapse. And then
Kurt did this. That's the kind of stuff that they would do. They still did it. That's my point. I'm not being able to take it serious. They just they didn't take it serious. At least you were still trying to. I know the battle. When I first got clean, I was such a thief. When I was in active addiction, I got so used to stealing, even from gas stations. When I wanted an energy drink, I'd grab 2 and I'd have one behind the other one. And I'd pretend, you know what? I don't want this Red Bull. And I'd go back to set it, and you think I'm setting the one that I grabbed. I'm setting the one behind it back and secretly pocketing the one in front of it. Like when I got clean, I was like, hold on. There's money in your wallet. Why do you need to steal that? You had to train your brain not to do the things you were once doing. It's weird. Even lying, like you're naturally used to lying. Now you don't. I was actually freaked out when I first got clean. I didn't argue with my wife for 18 days. I didn't understand what was going on. I was so used to fighting with her every day that I was like, hold on. Why aren't we arguing? Something didn't add up. It was like a cigarette smoker stopping smoking and their hands going to the lips. And they're like, something's supposed to go to my lips. And I don't know how to, I'm missing something. So I had a dream one day that I used. I mention this often on my channel, anyone who's watched that, but like I used in my dream, and I said, I'm going to die. I was so scared in early recovery. My wife goes, me too. Me too. And I was like, I looked at her like, you too? I'm the one who's dying, blah, blah, blah. Like I started arguing with her. Hours later, she comes to bring me a coffee outside. I'm burning a fire out back. And she hands me the coffee and she goes, here you go. And I'm like, oh, you brought that for me, baby? I'm sorry, thanks. And she looks at me, she says, it's okay, because you're right. You're way more fucked up than I am. And that's when I was like, damn, she won that one. I'm not even arguing with her.
I feel like with couples, we like do that in our relationships where it's almost like I don't want to say competition, but that's what it's like. Like we're always comparing ourselves. I know me and Neil, when we first got sober, I was like comparing myself, like how far down did I go? He didn't go as far as I did. He can't understand what it was like. If I can get sober, he should be able to do it, because I was way worse than he was. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, I can totally.
Back and forth.
My wife used to make me angry when I would try to point out, like, dude, you gotta get help. Like, it's obvious that you're struggling. And she says, I'm not as bad as you. Like, she did the opposite, where yours is a competition of who was worse. She would make me feel like crap, because she'd be like, I'm not an addict like you, like, and make an excuse for why she still can keep taking the meds and shit. And I'd be like, don't tell me you're not. I could tell, and I'm like, and then we'd argue about that. And it's really taken a long time. There's nothing I could say to make her get it. It's been really the medicine over the long period of time that kicked her butt. And that is what made her finally realize, oh snap, like this is really hurting me. But we've done, I can't imagine how many times I've taken a 20 out of her purse, or those are minor things. Is there anything else crazy that you can think, like, just what the hell was I thinking when I did that to get your drugs or to keep using your drugs?
Well,
real quick, shout out to Who is Haro. 11 days here. Lockdown forced me to detox. I'm proud of you, bro. Thanks a lot. And anyone else who's maybe commented that I haven't paid attention to, keep in mind, Nicole's going to share another thing, and there is a link I'm posting right now. You guys can come on and share a crazy story that you have of your own experience that we're interested in hearing. Nicole, if you don't mind, tell us something else crazy.
I'll share one more story with you guys, and then I'll let somebody else take the spotlight. Okay. So this is something we talked about yesterday. Since you talked about stealing, I'm going to tell you all a story about stealing. So that was ingrained in me. The shoplifting and stealing, it was something that had become a regular part of my life in order to get drugs, to get money, because I wasn't independently wealthy,
Right.
So I had this whole racket where I would go into the Dillards every Tuesday because they would get a truck, and I would lift like $200 purses, like Coach purses, Dooney and Burke, all the nice expensive purses, because on Tuesdays they didn't have them locked down to the displays because they were just getting them off the truck. I had done this probably 4 or 5 times and had such success that I was like, today's going to be just like any other day. I'm going to go in there and get my dough, and then I'm out.
Right.
I went in there, went and got my purses, and I changed my route. I said, I'm not going to go out the front entrance into the main mall. I'm going to go out the side door. I went to hit that side door, y'all, and I went, and the door didn't open. They locked me in the Dillards. They locked the doors so they wouldn't go. And here comes the cop up behind me. Stay right there. And I just said, I'm not even going to run. Where can I go? They got me locked in the Dillards.
Yeah.
So
holy moly, man. That's the worst feeling too. When you get caught red-handed and they just look at you and they say, don't move or anything. I know exactly that feeling. When I got older, though, it used to be, I've done a few things when I was a young kid. There was a little sticker, the little, you put 50 cents in, you turn it and get the cool stickers that slide out in the white thing that you can open and put a tattoo on or a sticker on or whatever. We knew a machine that could take pennies. It was supposed to take quarters, and we did nothing but pennies and had all these 50-cent stickers. We were 13. And I remember the cops walking up to us. We had drained the whole machine. We're walking out with stacks of these, tattoo things, and they walk up to you and they go, do you know how much money? 50 cents times. And they did this huge thing. They had us in handcuffs, everything, on a military base in Puerto Rico. We were in Roosevelt Roads is what it was called. And my mom and dad flipped out. Like, they are teenagers, 13 years old. You've got them in handcuffs, taking them down there like you're going to put them in some type of kid jail or something. But when I got older and I actually did do something, because my thing was always being a thief, I stole out of a customer's house. This is how I actually ended up with a felony charge. I was drunk, and she was a German lady who had all this German beer. It was like, you can have all the beer you want. Not making, how do I put this? This is not an excuse, right? So drinking and my drug use is not an excuse for my behavior of what I was doing. I'm definitely accountable for that. But I wanted to make the point that it didn't help. It made it easier to do things that, you can numb the way you feel about stuff. And I got used to doing it. I stole a bunch of stuff from her house, but most of the stuff was the guy who was with me. I didn't even realize how much he took. $10,000 almost worth of stuff ended up missing from this lady's house. I ended up with almost a grand larceny felony charge on my record. Till this day, it's still there. I probably have 7 or 8 years till I can expunge it, but it's been about 7 or 8 years since I got charged. And I've changed, obviously, since then. You guys seen the channel. I rabbit trailed all that to say, when they went to arrest me 3 days later, I had no clue what they were arresting me for. They get me on the front door and they said, are you Derek Lambert? I said, yes, I'm Derek Lambert. First thing he says, if you fucking, literally these words, if you fucking try to move, I will tase you right now. Turn around, put your hands behind your back. And I was like, damn, you look like one of those that'll try and run. And I was like, I played it smooth. Like, I haven't done anything wrong. What are you talking about? And went down there, checked myself out. Dude, I've had to pay the consequence for this thing. I've gotten so many rejections for jobs. There's just so much stuff that I've had to learn from. I think a lot of times as addicts, that responsibility, it's like a damned if you do and damned if you don't. If we aren't forced for repercussions for things we've done, we don't learn. But if we're sometimes put in a situation where we can't get a job, we can't succeed in life, then it's easier to get depressed and easier to relapse and want to use. It's a damned if you do and damned if you don't type system. It's just crazy. Yeah. Anyway, my bad. Do you want one more you want to share? Is anybody in here? Comment here. Let me know if you want to join. I'm interested in hearing your guys' story. This is nothing like, just casual hangout talk. I don't mind bringing you on with me, Nicole. I'm care.
I'm going to tell Emily, come on and tell your story about, I have a bunch of people in the chat that will come up. Okay. Emily, come up and tell your story if you're still in the chat.
Is it funny?
But yeah, she's got some good stories because she used to be a stripper.
Ooh, those are going to be fun.
So, stripper stories are always great.
Yes, absolutely.
But I guess I'll jump off here because I'm a attention whore. So I'm going to let somebody else have a chance. I love all you guys, and just know that you're not alone. Recovery is possible, and I'm so glad I got to come on. Derek, I'm so glad that we are like joining forces and stuff. Yeah. Because I'm just proud of how far you've come, and I know you're proud of me, and so it's just a good feeling to have us back in each other's lives and the unity of recovery.
That's what it's really all about, is connection. It really is about connection. And I've been missing, like I said, I'm coming back like, okay, that sickness has kicked my butt, but let's keep going. You'll be having a meeting today, or not a meeting. You're doing a hangout. What is it that you're doing?
Hanging out, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. We're doing it every single night. So it doesn't matter if you're like into AA or NA, whatever recovery you do, we're just kicking it. We're just helping each other stay sober.
Okay, cool. Yeah, there's going to be some fun stuff. You're going to be bringing in story times as well. That's all I'm doing today. It's just tell something crazy. We can laugh about it now. It wasn't something to laugh about then. And maybe someone who's struggling can watch and go, damn, I've done that. Maybe I need to get some help. You know what I mean? Like, I've been there, but they're happy now. They're happy in life, and they made it out on the other side, because most people think I've done too much wrong. I can't there's nothing. I've already shot myself in the foot. I can't get past that. There's no way. Yeah, there is. I'm a felon who couldn't get a job, and I just kept trying to do the next right thing. And sure enough, here I am, 4.5 years. October the 25th will be 5. It's like, dude, I can't even I never even got close to doing this much time cleaning in my entire past 14 years, So it's really cool. Really cool. Thank you for joining me. And by the way, anyone who's watching, check out Real Talk Recovery. She's got her YouTube channel. Put it in the link when you get off here. Put it in the link down below so everybody knows to go over there and hit that bell, and they can come join you, especially now when you need someone to get a laugh and hang out and hear something. She gets really emotional too a lot. So like, you're going to feel, I tell my wife all the time, I'm like, you should watch this show. And she's like, why? She knows why, because it's going to make her cry and make her like emotional and sad, like not in a bad way, but like why did you make me watch that?
I feel my feelings now. And it's like my feelings are so raw, and it's like, even after being in recovery for a while, I still feel those feelings and that shame and that guilt. I've gotten past it, but like when I bring up those stories and I talk about my son, it's like automatic, just like the tears. I can't even hold them back. And it's like it's a joke, because everybody's like, if you can come to Nicole's channel and she makes it 15 minutes through a video without crying, hey, but it's not going to happen, because I just get so into what I'm talking about,
You do. Absolutely, you do. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me and checking on me. I love you too. Thank you. And I appreciate you, and keep doing what you're doing, Nicole. It's really working.
Same. I'll see you later. Okay.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Guys, Nicole from Real Talk Recovery, she shared her story, and she's got a lot more stories. I know for a fact that you guys should definitely check out her channel. She's really fun. She's grown a lot. This recovery thing, it's pretty. It really makes you grow into a beautiful person over time. I was an ugly person, and it wasn't that I was a bad person. I was sick, and when people are sick, they do things that they would never do when they are well, You know, like today I give, I don't take. It's like, I try to, at least. I might take some food. I love eating, but yeah, when it comes to drug addiction, you know, you can overcome it. It doesn't seem that way. I thought I was defeated by heroin. I thought there's no way I can overcome this thing. Heroin's the once you get there, there's no turning back. I call bullshit, and I beat it, and you can too. And there's many paths, they say, I heard recently, many paths to California. You know, there's many roads you can take, and your road might be different than mine, and that's totally okay. And everyone should not judge. You know, I'll give you one saying. I really want to get someone to jump on here. I posted the link. I'm gonna post it one more time. Someone's got to join me. At least get into the chat area and hang out with me. Come hang out with me and let's talk. I want to say one thing, and this is just an analogy to give you an example of recovery and how people go about their recovery. If Jesus were alive today, okay, and he was healing two people, and he healed one person, both people are blind, and he ends up picking up mud with his right hand and spits, rubs it, and puts it in your eye, right? You get healed. The other person, he just takes his bare hand and puts it on his eye and says, you're healed. We humans will look at the person with the mud that got healed by mud, and we'd say, you're a Muddite. And the person that did not get healed by mud, we'd say, you're an anti-Muddite. We humans divide by categories. So if someone takes recovery route by doing Vivitrol, oh, they're a Vivitrol maintenance person. If you do it by abstinence, you're clean because you did it this way. And you think what your way is the correct way. At the end of the day, he healed both people. So what I'm saying is there's multiple ways to get to the same top of the mountain, and we're all trying to get to the peak. Let's not shun one another on our way up to the top. If your life is getting better, I call that recovery. Regardless, if you had drank a gallon of milk each day and that helped you stay clean, I'm not going to knock you and go, hey, you're using your crutch of milk or something to get to that point. Whatever betters your life is what I'm encouraging. So with that being said, you know, Real Talk Recovery does maintenance recovery. So if a lot of people who are wondering, hey, can I do this and be clean? Yes, I do believe that. And I'm an abstinent person. So Nicole, did you share your link? You guys are all miracles, she said. And then I'm going to share this. Dr. B, please join me, sir. Here's the link. Guys, we got Dr. B in his house. Dr. Bizzle. I'm just being silly. Please join me. I just tried to call him, and he tried to call me. This gentleman's the real deal. He tried to call me a week and a half ago. I think I'm in full-blown flu. Not right. I think I had the coronavirus. I don't know. I really do. And he tried to call me, and I hadn't called him back. So I'm hoping he can jump on. Oh, snap. We got hopeless to hopeful. Look, guys, y'all got to come on and join me, man. I want to hear how you guys are doing, what you're doing to stay clean. Tell us a funny story. I don't care. I'm here hanging out. ER, what's your daily crutch if you have one? Good question. My daily crutch, I would say I like to study philosophy and ancient religions. I'm a straight up nerd, and I'm not afraid to say it. We got Nick in here. Oh, we got someone in the chat here. We're gonna bring Emily on. What's up, Emily?
Hi.
Hey. So what's something crazy that you've done? I'm sure you've done something crazy, and thanks for coming and hanging out with me.
You're welcome. This makes me so nervous every time, but I gotta get over
don't be. Well, yeah, we'll do it together. We're cool. You're not alone.
Well, I was a dancer, so I don't know. I guess there's a lot of craziness there, but there was a lot that went on like in the back rooms, like when you're like super desperate for a fix. That was pretty bad.
Yeah. and was it cocaine or what was your choice drug?
Oh, it was a lot, but it was mostly cocaine, Xanax, and heroin. But I would like stay up a lot at the club, like because you need to be able to like do your stages and whatnot. But it was cocaine at the club, and then I'd take a Xanax like if I got too high, because you know, like when you rail too many lines and you're just like jittery, like you can't do a stage set like that. You'll fucking break a heel and fall off. Like it's no joke. But Yeah, I think there was one time that I did coke laced. Apparently, it was laced with either methamphetamine or like really bad speed. I don't know what it was. Oh, hi Nikki, thank you. And I had to go on stage because you have to pay like $50 if you miss your stage set. And I had to go on stage, and I was like shaking. Like it felt like I was overdosing, and I was just like sweating. My hands were so sweaty I couldn't grip the pole, and I was like, oh my God, I'm just gonna have to do floor work. Like my heart was beating so fast, and I was like, the manager, because he had eyes on me. Like he was fixing for a reason to fire me for a while, and he had eyes on me.
Really?
And I was like, oh my God, my hands are, I can't even take my damn bra off. Like, I don't know how I'm going to make this. It's not looking sexy at all. Like, I'm going to have to just get naked and lay on the floor and just hope that that'll bring in some money. Like, you got to do your floor work. You got to do what you got to do. And he had eyes on me the whole time. Like, he's walking by the stage, and he's like he could tell I was
something wasn't right.
Oh yeah, it was bad.
And it did a lot. I mean, most of your friends that you worked with there, were they all, everybody practically was doing something? It was just, that's the norm?
Yeah. Well, I'm pregnant and I'm sober now, but I had to cut a lot of the friends that I was using with in that lifestyle, and a lot of my stripper friends, I had to cut them away from my life because I was like, it's funny. It's like, they judge me for being on mat and being sober, but I know for a fact they're popping a pill and taking a Xanax every night, and then they're fixing to hold my kid. It's like, no, I don't think so.
Right. I understand. And that judgment, we're trying to break the stigma. Exactly. You know, I tend to relate it to kind of like, and I don't talk about politics and religion on this channel, but I relate it to those things. Like if you choose one side, you automatically have enemies on the other. It's like we want to tear that down in the recovery community as much as we can and say, listen, we don't push a view, but don't antagonize, you know, people who might choose paths. But tell me another story. Tell me something that you, looking back, you didn't think was funny at all during the time, other than that one. God. Okay. But you look back and can kind of laugh.
Probably another stripper store. Oh yeah. Yeah, there was this one time I was using, hi Nicole. I was using, and like everyone that I danced with, they were either drinking their faces off to be able to go and do that on the stage, or they were on something, right? So all my friends were addicts too. And there was the male strippers that would come down from Toronto, because like we had like the biggest club in Ottawa that we were working at, and they'd come down from Toronto, like it's called Club Cave where they work at in Toronto. They'd come down and they'd come to our club and do their show, and like our manager would pay them because they would bring in a lot of like attention, like a lot of girls and people to the club or whatever. And like, because these girls would just go crazy, like it's all over them because they're like full dicks out, like with the helicopter.
No way.
Oh yeah, like they would get like fully naked, like I don't know if I'm saying it, genuine pony, like that. You want it?
Yeah.
It was like literally like picture like Magic Mike, but like these guys are like 37,
completely nude.
Out. Oh yeah, I don't know. Everyone thought these guys were so attractive, but I'm like, no. But
how much were they getting paid? A lot.
Oh, as a female stripper that'd be working there, I'd go because like it sucks. It would suck because I would have to pay, because you don't get paid for working in a strip club. Like you got to pay to work there. As a dancer, you pay like your bar fee and your stage fee. And then like we would have to pay to work there, but these guys would get paid and they'd be charging dances and they would get paid.
What's the number to this place? No, I'm just kidding with you. I'm just teasing. I'm just kidding with you. I got to make some money, man. No, I'm kidding with you.
Yeah.
But trying to keep a habit as well as pay your way in to work and dance. I guess if you don't mind me asking a personal question, was it hard at first? Or were you already in active addiction when you got the job? So it was kind of easier to just go in and be able to dance. Was there kind of like a stigma at first? Like, I guess a moral sense. Did you ever have any of that where you were like, I'm going to go dance nude in front of the guys? And did the addiction, were you already addicted when you got the job? Or?
Oh yeah, like I'd already been in active like heroin addiction, because I mean I was born a heroin addict. Like my mom had me and I was in full blown addiction. Like she had Hep C and whatnot, and she was using her entire pregnancy. So I was legitimately born a heroin addict. So as soon as I picked that up, I was addicted, you know?
Yeah.
So,
I just didn't want to get too personal, you know what I mean?
No,
but
it's okay. I don't care. No, I don't care. I don't care to talk about it, but yeah, I don't know. Well, you'd be out $150 just to work there sometimes, because you gotta, if you don't drive and you don't have a car, you gotta pay like your Uber ride there, and then you gotta pay your bar fee, your stage fee, and then you make whatever. Like say I'd make $500 or $800 in a night, I'd set like $200 aside, because of course you have debts for using, because you can get a front from some of your dealers, but other dealers, no, they're not going to take that. I'm not going to front you because you already owe me $300, you know?
Yeah.
So I'd make all that money and then it'd be gone. Like I worked as a dancer and I would make like almost $1,000 a night sometimes. And I worked there for like 2 or 3 years. And then I came back, and when I decided to get sober, I was like, wow, I made almost $1,000 every single night for like 2 or 3 years. And I come back and I have minus 47 in my bank account. Like, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, that's addiction. You know what I mean? That's
but
how it is.
A crazy story. There was that time that the male dancers would come down, and all these girls, because as female dancers, like the male dancers would pay more attention. I think it was like almost like a respect thing. Like, you know, like if you have a Jeep and another person has a Jeep, they do that Jeep wave, right?
Wink at them and
Yeah, exactly. It was like that for strippers. So it was always like the strippers were always banging the strippers when you come down, right? So, and all these girls that would go there and they would pay to come in, they'd be super jealous because we'd be getting all the attention for free. Like we didn't have to pay for that, right?
Right.
So it was pretty crazy. And there was this girl, and she was like the best performer in the club. Like she'd be like pussy popping up on the top of that bar, like fully, like she'd be like getting money. Like it was crazy. And like all the guys wanted this girl, and she was an alcoholic and she was addicted to Xanax, and she was a mouthy girl. Like it wasn't champagne. They know what I'm talking about on Real Talk Recovery. But it was another girl. She was a fighter, and she was like our best stage setter. And Jeremy, the stripper, he'd been paying attention to this girl. And there was a girl at the stage that I guess had like spent a lot of money on this guy. And she got mad because we were getting paid attention to her, whatever, and we were all drinking, we were all fucked up, right? Like it was like our night off because we weren't working, we were just there to see some dicks. And this girl gets mad because this Russia girl, like that was my friend's stage name, she'd been making jabs, and like she'd go by this girl and she'd be like, oh fucking bitch. Like she was just looking for a fight. And this girl, and she was like this, because we were all in like Muay Thai and stuff, right? Because you got to be able to protect yourself. If you don't carry, like as a dancer, you got to carry like a pepper spray or a taser, or you got to know how to fight, because unfortunately in that lifestyle, I mean, you're going to have stuff happen to you where you're going to have a big man try to take advantage of you. So you got to know how to protect yourself. And this girl had been mouthing off to her. She takes her cup, like it was like a glass, like a Ryan Coke cup. She empties it. She fucking bam, like right across, and it was her mouth. So what had happened was she hit her so hard, and as soon as like she hit Russia, my friend, and she lost like her teeth there were all cracked. Her lip was like a zigzag, like it was like hanging off her face. Yeah, blood everywhere. She ended up like stripping down, and we had to like, because she was losing so much blood, right? Because you're already drunk, so the blood's like flowing and flowing. Luckily, most of us were either like nurses. I think there was like a paramedic there too, so we were able. You're my spirit animal. Yes, Nicole, you're my spirit
real
animal.
Quick, Nick, I see you in the waiting room, Nick. Don't worry, I'm gonna pull you on here in just a minute, bro.
Yeah. I'll leave in a second. But yeah, it was crazy because it's like in that active addiction, we don't care what we're doing, right? And she was looking for a fight. She was like high, drunk. But yeah, that's the crazy story. She got smacked and she had to get her 2 teeth fixed, and I think she got like 10 stitches in her lip. And she had to pay for her teeth too.
Till this day, does she have a scar? Is it bad, or is it?
Yeah, but she gets lip injections, so she was able to cover it up. But there's
Okay.
a scar there. You can definitely tell.
And women, you got to have women are very particular about
Patty,
that. But
yes.
Emily, anytime I go live, feel free to come hang out, join me. You can see it's not that bad.
No.
This is broadcasting in front of a million people. No, I'm just kidding. No, but yeah, right.
Eric, I got naked in front of a million people. You really?
Oh
think
God. Right. Well, thank you, Emily, so much for joining. We got 2 people waiting in the waiting area here, and I'm gonna go with Nick next. Hopeless to hopeful. Thank you so much, and
Okay,
hopefully I see you again.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to bring Nick on, but be sure to join me. I posted the link here, and I'll bring you on after Nick. We got Boston Kenny. So, Nick, what's up, my man?
Dude, what's up, dude?
Look, dude, I want that weather.
Oh, bro, it's so nice out here right now. I'm just getting back from the pool. See that?
Yes. That's unbelievable, man. I think we're all jealous a little bit,
I'm sorry, guys.
So tell us something crazy, man. You've changed a lot. You've calmed down a lot. Watching your channel, which, by the way, if anyone hasn't seen, Hopeless to Hopeful has a YouTube channel, and he goes through positive things, and he has like a routine, if you will, on what keeps you clean. So we're mainly going to focus on some crazy stories, but they should go subscribe, definitely. And when you get off, make sure you post your link down below to your channel so everybody can go subscribe. But tell me something. All
right,
bro.
dude, I got you. Okay, so first, it's the first time ever talking to you on
I know
social media platform. I've talked to you on the phone, but it's cool we finally be able to do it.
We're gonna do your story sometime. We got to. I've been sick as all get out, but we got to do your story sometime. So keep that in mind.
Man.
All right.
Okay, so let's see. Well, first of all, I hope everyone's doing well. If I know it's a crazy time, but okay, so I'll tell you the first time I smoked methamphetamine. Okay, so I was with my my pill dealer, and he would sell like Roxy's and Dilaudids and stuff like that, but he would smoke meth, like to stay up and stay selling the pills and all that. So I decided to try it, and I'm smoking it, and I'm up for a day, no problems, no hallucinations, whatever. 24 hours goes by, and I start smoking it again, and he's like, all right, man, I gotta go. He was working a job at a restaurant, and I had nothing to come down. So, you hear about people taking Xanax or opiates to come down from the meth or whatever, but I didn't have anything. So I'm trying to hit people up. No one's hitting me back up. So I go over to this one guy's house. Him and his girlfriend are there. And the weed that's like a wax, like the dabs?
Yes.
People would take dabs. He's like, well, I don't have any Xanax, dude, but how about we throw you, I'll just give you some free wax or whatever and take a big dab. And I'm like, sure, that's a great idea. Bro, he threw the fattest glob on there. And I legit, as soon as I hit it, my face started sweating. I thought I was literally gonna like have a freaking heart attack. And he's like, hey man, can you go to Publix and get me and my girl a sub or whatever? And I'm like, yeah, no problem. I go to walk out the door, and there's absolutely no way. I'm having a panic attack. My heart is racing, dude. I'm freaking out. And so I get in the car, and I tell him, I'm like, look, man, I can't get a sub. I got to go home. I can't even handle my thoughts right now. And so I'm driving down the street. I'm supposed to take a right to go home, but if I take a left, I go to Publix. So for some reason, I thought there was a cop behind me, and instead of going home, I take a left to go to Publix, which is if no one knows, it's like a food store, like an Albertsons or whatever you guys have up there.
Food Lion on the East Coast or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So this was a holiday. I'm not sure what day it was. I mean, it was a holiday where everything was closed. You know what I mean? Like there was no cars in the parking lot. So I pull into this Publix thinking there's a cop behind me. And I park the car. and I don't see any cars. I just see 3 empty cop cars, like, that are just parked there because they just left them there or whatever. But at the time, I'm like, oh shit, dude, the FBI's after me. I pull the keys out of the ignition, I place them on the front hood of my car, and I put my hands up, thinking the FBI's after me.
Holy crap! You're tripping.
So, yeah, I'm completely hallucinating. Like I'm seeing the cops like with binoculars or whatever. And so I'm holding my hands up, and I'm sitting there at my car, and then I open up the door. I get back inside. I call my dad, who's at a tennis tournament with my little brother and my stepmom, and I'm like, "You guys got to come get me right now. The FBI's after me. I'm gonna go to prison. I don't know what to do." And so they're tripping, and then they come all the way, like, dude, like an hour and a half away, 2 hours. They were like in Tampa or wherever. And they come all the way to pick me up. I sat in my car for like 30 or 45 minutes with my hands up, thinking that the FBI was after me.
Oh my gosh.
That was the last time I smoked meth.
You know, I have to relate, and dude, we've got to link up. I got to get your story, and we gotta definitely do this. Get it on the channel. I remember, and this is a lot of people are like, why didn't you try marijuana? Why didn't you just go back to pot or something? You know, dude, you don't think I tried?
Listen, anxiety attacks.
Oh my gosh, it doesn't work the same way for me. And
never again.
I had these talks. The last time I tried to do it, my wife was so done with my pill addiction and stuff. At that time, it was pills. I never got the heroin yet at that time.
Right.
And I remember we used to listen to Biggie and Tupac and put the beat on and put the damn and roll the blunt. And so we're hanging out in an old Walmart parking lot, and I'm holding it in and I'm handing it to her. Dang, you're already rocking Tupac.
Yeah.
And she just. And I'm like, dude, hit it. And she's like, I'm good. I'm just trying to smoke. I'm on my way home, and I look over at her while I'm driving, and I saw myself in the passenger seat, and I'm driving.
Shit. Yep, you're tripping.
And it tripped, like, I don't know how to describe it. An illusion occurred. And I went home, and when I did, I started like panicking and started feeling like I just wanted to escape my body, because I was talking to God the whole time. I was like, I know I'm going to hell, but, you know, and like, I'm like talking to him the whole time. I'm taking a hot bath, trying to sweat it out. I'm eating, trying to get it. And my body kept like moving, like when I was sitting still, almost like when you're drunk and you're spinning and you're sitting still.
Spins. Yeah.
But with marijuana, it wasn't the same. It was different. So
dude, after opiates, it was never the same for me again.
Yeah. It never worked for me either.
I just got anxiety attacks. I literally, like, I thought I was having a heart attack. And I don't know, like, when you say you might have messed something up by doing Adderall or whatever, I truly think, like, between me doing Adderall and pills and IV drugs and stuff like that, I messed something up, or a chemical, like,
something happened.
Every time after, dude, it's never the same. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it for the freaking story.
Yeah,
I'm actually gonna get a bite to eat, and I got this social distancing garage driveway party in my neighborhood.
I can't wait. I'll be down in Florida not too long from now. We're gonna link up and do videos in person too.
Dude,
I'm gonna be somewhere like 45 minutes from Orlando. So
okay, well, whenever you make a trip, hit me up. I got 2 jet skis. We'll go on out. We can film videos. It's chilling, man. I got a awesome setup down here.
Where are you at? In Miami?
No, on the other coast. So Miami's the East Coast. I'm on the west. So Naples.
Okay, Naples. Okay, how far are you from Orlando?
3.5, 4 hours.
So not too bad. Okay.
Not too bad, but I have family up there, so I can go stay in a place, or if you come here, you can stay at my place. It doesn't matter. I
was going to say, like, we're going to be trying to find a good place to rent down there. We might need to land just for a day or two. I'll call you. We'll link up on Facebook.
All right, you know I'm a realtor, so just hit me up.
I know, big baller. Look, he went from straight up hopeless to hopeful. Okay, that's his name. So go subscribe to his channel. Nick, thanks a lot, bro. I'm gonna try and bring Boston on. Hey, I'm gonna hit you up when I get off and get done here, and we'll talk more.
Sure. All right, bro. See you guys.
Peace. All right, guys, you heard it, man. Nick's a great guy. He really is. He's a stand-up guy. He's been through a lot. He wears his heart on his sleeve. I see him on Facebook all the time. Go show him some love. subscribe. These are all people who are in recovery, of course. And it doesn't matter if you're in recovery or not. You know, I'm here to listen. You know what I'm saying? You guys can join me. Boston Kenny, let's try your camera. I don't think's on right now. Let's see. There he is. Oh snap! Oh snap!
On
Boston
now?
Kenny, what's up, baby?
What's going on, man?
Yeah, you're on, man. Hey,
All
just
right.
hanging.
Yeah, that's good, man. Recovery is possible. God is good, you know.
Yes, it is.
I've done every drug under the surface of the world, man. So I got a lot of crazy stories.
With if you want, share one or two of them, like really good ones. Leave everyone in the comment section here. You know, like oh snap.
I will. I'm gonna tell you about the time when I was shooting coke. Obviously this was in 2010. I was living in East Boston. I'm from Boston, but there's different parts of Boston. And I was shooting coke, and I had got hospitalized, you know, because I had endocarditis, because you know how it goes,
Yeah.
sharing works or whatever. And you know, and they were pumping me with Ativan, and I was all beamed out. And when beamed out means all messed up on benzos. And you know, I'm in the hospital bed, and like the wheels are starting to turn, like, oh my God, I just want to go get a bag of coke. And you know, and I left the hospital with the gown, you know, and no clothes, with the IV. I ripped the IV out, and I had like a portable heart monitor, and I'm walking down the streets of Boston, and people are looking at me, and I'm like, yeah, like whatever. I get to the train station, I get on the train. Now, you know, when you know you're about to go cop, you got that anxiety. It's like that anticipation.
Yeah.
So I called up, you know, my guy, whatever. I met him, and wow, this is crazy. I get the chills. I had this like little spot that I used to get high in. It was like it was 3 stories high. And at this time I was on the run from police. Like I had like 6 warrants, and you know, everybody was looking for me, and I was shooting a lot of coke. And finally I cop. I go upstairs, and I go to, like, it's like a senior living place, like that. And the guy's house that I go to, he used to get high with me. I used to shoot him up with coke, and you know, I used to go just for a place. It was like a place to stay, and you know, he was a diabetic, so at that time you couldn't go to CVS and get syringes. So hey, Rosie, at that time you couldn't get syringes, and so you know, it was the needle exchange or whatever. So I go upstairs, and I do that first shot. I had just copped, like, I think it was like 300-400, whatever, and I did the whole bag,
Oh shit.
and I went into straight cocaine psychosis. Like my heart started beating fast, boom, 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 and I got warrants at the time. So now it's like a round coffee table, and the old man's looking at me, and I'm stuck, and like the helicopter's landing on my head, and he's looking at me. He's like, "Where's my shot?" So like now I'm shaking, and I'm drawing it up, and I got no landing gear, to tell you. Like I got no landing gear. Like I'm that type, like go hard or go home. And yeah, I try shooting them up. I tried hitting them, and I skin popped them or whatever. And now I'm hearing things. Like now the car, I'm known in East Boston, like the police is known to look for me. And I hear somebody. I'm at the Pico now, at the door, and I'm hearing, and I'm like seeing the shadows, and like I can still swear to this day that it was real. And I can hear like the echoing, like I thought it was the police radios. So I'm like, oh my God, what do I do? Like I'm shaking, like, so now I got 2 more bags, and I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm getting high. Like I locked all the doors, and now I did the other one, and now I'm in heart attack mode now. So I got so geeked out that I told the old man, I said, "Hey, Bobby," I said, "I'm jumping out the window." And I
Oh my
had a
God.
bag. I had a prescription bag of pills, and it was GABA pens or whatever. And I go through the back. I open the door. At this time, I'm weighing like 125 pounds. I'm 240 now, But yeah, I ended up. It was 3 stories, okay, and the flower vase, like the flowers, this
On the outside of the windows.
on the
Yeah.
outside on the porches. So I thought I was Spider-Man. I said, I'm gonna like I looked over and I'm like, I could do this. I'm so high on cocaine. Oh, it gets worse. So now I climb up over and I climb up over. Now I'm hanging off the thing. Like fucking excuse my language, like Batman, and the thing snaps and I fall. I fall all the way down to the first floor. Boom. But I was so high on cocaine that my adrenaline kept me going. So
Damn.
I landed on someone's porch. Now this was like a Mexican family. They didn't talk no English. So they opened the door. I'm bloodied up. Okay, I had a few missing teeth. I broke my L1, my L2, a fractured my C1. I broke both my wrists. And now they open the porch door and they see me. I'm lying on the floor. There's a bag there and there's blood. And I'm Spanish, but I can understand but I'm hurting and I'm so geeked up I can't talk. And they open the door, they start like, what are you doing? They thinking I'm breaking in. So at the front desk there's a security guard that so one person went to get the security guard. Now they kicking me why I'm hurt. So I got the courage, thank God, I got the courage to open the gate, and I ran across the street was my mother lived, and I was all bloodied up. I don't know how I was walking. To make a long story short, I ended up going to the hospital, but I was like, don't call the police. I got warrants. So I tried taking the train. I took the train into Boston and I couldn't do it no more, man. I was in so much pain. I flagged down the EMTs and I told them what happened. In Boston, they have a stigma. They treat addicts bad. Like,
Yeah.
like they don't care. Like if you're an addict, you get no love. Especially down by Methadone Mile. So I get in the gurney, whatever. Now I get to the hospital. Right now, the doctor. I swear to God, I never forget this day. The doctor was yelling at the EMTs. Was like, "Why didn't you strap him up? He should have been like in a neck brace or whatever." I could clearly see that his back is broken. She looked at me. She was on a computer. She goes, "I don't know what to give you for pain meds. You just left this hospital on an overdose from heroin." I was just at Mass General like 3 days from an overdose.
Whoa.
And she started crying. She started crying. She's like, thank God for cocaine. It kept you alive. If I wasn't if I wasn't under the influence of cocaine, I would have died. I would have died. It was 3 stories. It was 3 stories, and I'm a walking miracle. Yeah, it's crazy, bro.
Bro, Kenny, dude, we
Yeah,
gotta get your story. Dude,
I got.
message me on Facebook. If you
You got
can,
Instagram?
Instagram. Yes, message me on Instagram or Facebook. We got to link up because I want to get your full story and we'll get that
You
put
have to.
out. Yeah, this is what I live for. This kind of stuff right here, bro, because everyone has a story, various degrees, and everyone has a miracle, so to speak, that happens in their story that's made it. And dude, this is crazy, man.
Let me show you something.
Yeah, show me.
I just lost my Can you see it?
Yes.
I just lost my cousin a week ago to fentanyl overdose. First time doing fentanyl. I was born into this, man. Father overdosed. sisters are going through it. Like, I got a hell of a story, and if you want to catch me, you could catch me on Lockup. I was on Lockup Boston. Google
Do you
Lockup
have a
Boston.
YouTube channel?
Yes, I have a YouTube channel. It's I'll tell you right now.
I mean, do you do videos on it?
Yeah, I was thinking about starting to do some videos, but I don't want to talk about prison because that whole prison population that thing's overrated. I'd
Yeah.
rather do something like you. You inspire me, man, because like
Thanks, bro.
seeing people on your channel and people have the same stories as me, it gives me some hope.
Yeah.
So, like I do have a YouTube channel, and I'll give it to
Prison
you right
stuff's
now.
fun. I'm not going to deny that it's not fun, but I get what you're saying. Like a lot of the people who do the prison stuff, they say that they're kind of tired of it. Whereas
Yeah,
when you give away in recovery, something else is given back. It's not just a story about like, haha, listen to this. One guy punched this dude and then it's like I survived the hardest core thing you can possibly imagine, and that's me. I
yeah.
defeated my biggest enemy, and that's Derek Lambert. And I made it out alive. So sharing that, man, helps so many people, bro. Message me on Instagram. All right. That'll save us all that. I can get all that information. And then what we'll do is we'll plan. I think you should do a YouTube because it's therapeutic, bro. When you share the story, it not only helps others. I guarantee you someone listening to this right now was blessed by that.
I only have 23 subscribers.
No, that'll change, man. It won't take long. Trust me.
It's Boston Strong 617. That's my YouTube channel.
Boston Strong 627.
No,
when you get
617.
617.
Yeah.
Okay. When you get off here, post it down in the comments on this video so everybody could see it, and then they can actually subscribe to it, man. Dude, that's crazy. I bet you have some more stories.
Dude,
Real
I got
quick,
some.
I want to let You Got Gapped us. She said, I saw your video through Jessica Kent's channel, started following. I admire you. I never got to the point of IV or using IV, but popping pills. And thankfully I never OD'd or went to jail. And that's a lot of people's stories. Thank you for the comment. And she said she lost her bro to addiction and PTSD. So it's very close to my heart. My wife lost her cousin about a week ago. I was going to do a video, but my energy was so messed up. I think I was like literally with this sickness, man. So look, Hopeless is damn dude. Glad you alive, man, with your story.
Thanks,
and
man.
Really appreciate that, bro. You got another story? You could share one more. And hey, I commented everybody down here so you guys can join me. Go ahead and join. I could see that you joined. No one else can see, but I can see that you joined. And when he's done telling his story, you can hang out with me. It's not scary. I know you might be a little nervous or something.
Nah, it's all right. It's cool.
I'm just telling them like someone might be nervous about jumping in here, and it's not that bad, is it? It's really chill, isn't it?
I got another one real quick. This one's a quick one. This was like about a year ago. Some kid was like, I was, when I go full throttle, buddy. I really do. Like,
I feel you.
I go, I like that kid was saying, Nicholas, the kid before us. Yeah. Like when you're on meth, you have no landing gear. You're just gonna have to ride that out. So, but I was on this like this strip. It's called Shirley Avenue Revere, and I seen a friend of mine. It was like 10 o'clock at night. I had 2 bags of coke on me and a bag of meth, and I'm like, hey, do you have an extra gizzy? We call them gizzies, a needle. He gave me a clean one. So I'm famous for going into bathrooms, like barbershop bathrooms or wherever. Like I do it wherever. Like I still have the decency not to do it in the street. I have respect. But anyways, I go to a bathroom and I do it. And like I want to do the whole thing. Like I'm not gonna just do one. I want to do everything. And I did it, man. And I had a duffel bag with me. And I walk out and I look to my left and I look to my right. Now I'm hearing things and I think people are chasing me. And I'm walking in the middle of the street, right? I'm walking in the middle of the street. I got my duffel bag. My duffel bag's open, so all my clothes are like you can see the trail of clothes. Like, so I got the duffel bag with me, Next thing you know, a Revere police officer pulls me over. I'm geeked out of my mind. First of all, no, he didn't pull me over at first. He looked at me and he just did like a U-turn. And I'm like, oh, now when you see the cops, you get super sketched out. So I'm like, oh man, this is crazy. So whatever. He pulls me over. He goes, hey, I just seen you talking to such and such. What did he give you? I'm like, nothing. I got blood coming down, like, you know, when you lick the blood off or whatever.
Right.
Like, bro, I'm telling you, when I did that shot and I got so scared that I took flight. Like I probably left like, needle caps or whatever in the bathroom. But yeah, the cop looked at me. He goes, where you going? Like, are you all right? Like, and you know, the crazy thing about it is that like, at the end of that stigma, they don't care. They left me like they left me there. So now I'm thinking like people are chasing me. So I'm like running down the street. You know, I'm running down the street. But what I'm trying to say is when I use, bro, like I don't care. Like all bets are off.
Yeah.
All bets are off. And like now that we're going through this quarantine thing, like I'm in my head and I'm like, you know what?
How long have you been clean?
8 months. 8 months.
Wow.
I got
That's
married.
a long time. Yeah, man. That's still a long time. People don't realize how long that is.
Dude,
you know,
it's like a life sentence. But it no, in a good way.
You're not talking about your wife, are you? Because if you are, you're in trouble, man.
Nah, she's at work right now.
Right? I'm just messing, man. I'm just messing. No,
yeah,
dude.
man.
8 months.
I don't
That's
want to
good.
take up too much time, but you know what I mean? Like, man, I'm gonna is there a way that I could get your Instagram? Where's your Instagram posted?
Yeah,
Or something?
yeah. Derek, in the description of my videos, I don't know if I didn't put it in the description of this video. So any of my other videos, if you go in the description of it, you'll see my Instagram link. It'll take you directly there, or you can just search me, Derek Lambert.
What is it? I got the phone. What is it?
DEREK Lambert.
With space, anything, or just
I think
straight
it's
one word?
I don't know how Instagram. I think on Instagram it's one word, right? Or is
LAMB.
Yeah, you should
All
find.
right, I got it.
Okay,
I got you, man.
Cool.
I'm gonna leave you a message, man. You know,
message me, bro. Message me.
When you gonna come out to Boston, man?
Well, I'll be on the East
you don't
Coast.
like the cold, huh?
I'm not a big fan of the cold, but I've been up that way a few times and shared a story at a church a long time ago there. But I don't know. My dad and grandparents and stuff, they were located in Cooperstown, New York. So
yeah,
who knows? I might end up there sometime. You know what I'm saying?
All right, man.
For sure, dude.
Hey, man. God bless and thanks.
Yeah, bro, and just remember, keep what you got, bro, by giving it away, man. Try and help other people. So if you gotta get on there and freaking go for it, dude, share your story. I'll help push it out there. Like you can come on here, we'll get your channel in the spotlight, get you some people who are in there that want to hear stories, because your story already, man, that was crazy. So you've survived the worst, and
the worst.
Thank you, Ryan Moe. I see you in the comment, bro. You're gonna have to get in, dude. You're gonna have to get on. Ryan's in here. You get in there, man. Let me post the link again.
You guys got that, man. God bless, Derek. God bless,
too,
bro.
Kenny. Hey, and come back and join. If we do lives again, you can always come down here and at the bottom. It shows me when you pop in, and just join me, man. It's I'm here so that I can have others join. I'm here to just one street. Yeah, this is a community, bro. Let's make it that way. So thank you for sharing what you had, and I'll see you around, bro.
I'll see you around, man. Thanks.
All right, later. Holy moly, guys. Fell from a 3-story building, whacked out on cocaine and survived, and of course had just overdosed. That's just crazy. And then you escape the hospital. What do you do with that, right? So that's just a miraculous story, if you will, that he made it. I'm sure some of you guys have some crazy stories to share. And that's why I posted the link. So join me live here. Come hang out with me. Share one crazy story. Just come on. Don't be afraid. And you can tell your story. Let someone know something crazy that you did while in active addiction. So someone else can kind of look and go, holy crap. Either they can relate and go, I've done that, or damn, I want to stop now so I don't end up doing that at some point, because that's what's usually going to happen. We're going to end up at some point. All right. Let's see. Robert says Xanax is worse than heroin. I don't know, man. I mean, it can be, I guess. Depends on who's taking it and what they're hooked on. I always say everybody's a little different. A little bit different. Oh, Bobby says, I'm disappointed I can't get my 9-month keychain. I'm sure you can contact someone. They might be able to mail you one for sure. There should be some way of doing that. Everyone's going online now, though, so I don't know. Maybe you can ask around and find out if they can email you that. Ladies and gentlemen, somebody come on and join me, and we will definitely share something crazy. Kenny just shared something crazy about his story. There's nothing to be afraid of. It's really, really simple. You guys come hang out with me, and I promise you won't be nervous. There's nothing to be scared of, and you could share something. Someone might need to hear what you have to say. I'm always the one doing lives and sharing, and I'm here with you. So you're not alone. Don't be worried about nothing. I struggle way more with opiates than benzos. Yeah, I think it just depends on the person. It really depends on the person. So I personally had a harder time taking heroin than I did benzos. That's just my own opinion. But then again, I never got hooked by abusing the benzos over a long, long period of time. So, I can't really talk on them because they weren't my thing. I'm not saying they couldn't have become my thing, but they weren't my thing. There's 30 people in here watching. Somebody's got something to share. I know that. Something crazy you did while in active addiction that you can laugh about now, or something like deep and crazy and miraculous story of what happened to you, or what you're doing to stay clean right now. Any takers that would like to join me, here is the link right here in the comment section. So I shared a little bit about funny things, like how I went to piss test my wife, and she dunked it in the toilet, made it look like she peed, but she didn't. How I peed back in the day, I mentioned this in one of my videos. I peed after drinking a bunch of water, and I passed the piss test. I did little funny things. I had a bunch of guests come on and share their stories, and I would like for you guys to come on and share your stories with me. I have tons of stories, but you can watch my channel and see a lot of those. And then other ones I may not even remember right now. So I'm trying to get you guys to share your stories. Don't be afraid. I'm going to let this stand up a little longer. So I just want you guys to come hang out with me. Ryan Moe did yesterday. I see you in the chat, Ryan. So you can come join me again today, man. Any takers? Any takers? While we're doing that, I'm going to pull something up that Ryan told me to check out. First of all, I want to show you guys. Let me share my screen with you. Okay, let me see. Share screen. Let's do this. All right. Now I'm sharing my screen with you guys. I want to show you the pharmacist. This right here is definitely worth checking out while you guys have the downtime. And where is the other one that Netflix has? Oh, right here. How to Fix a Drug Scandal. This show right here is actually really good. So if you guys get off and you really want to watch something, I watched all 6 episodes yesterday. I personally loved that show. I hope you guys could see that. Are you driving? Yeah, don't join, Ryan. Oh wow, Annabella. I'm sorry you're going through all that though. I'm glad you're going to start something tomorrow that's going to keep you from using and going down that road. Well, nobody's joining me. Nobody's ready to come on and share something funny, crazy. And I understand if you guys don't want to join, but I'm going to try and do these most every day, if possible. I'm going to try and do these most every day. When I go to travel, though, and cross the country, I don't know if I'll be able to do the Streamlab from my phone, but we'll have to see. I'll be traveling across the country, so I'm not sure I'll be able to have people joining me. I wanted to switch things up and start using StreamYard. Real Talk Recovery Nicole actually helped encourage me to kind of try it out. I didn't know there's a way to bring people on. I've been trying to do OBS forever, and I didn't know how to do it. So, look, Margie B is right. The pharmacist was so good too. and How to Fix a Drug Scandal. I loves it. Watched them all last night. Yeah, me too. How to Fix a Drug Scandal. I don't want to spoil anything for people who haven't seen it. So maybe we'll do a show, and spoiler alert, we'll talk about it, talk about some of the things that we think about the show, and go into the details there, because that show actually shows you how the system really failed big time for many years. I've always thought the system's pretty screwed up anyway. Check it out. You guys struggling right now and you think because the coronavirus, there's not options, that I can't go to treatment because, look, everything shut down. No, I have treatment centers that you can get help and get treatment. If you're struggling with drugs or alcohol, reach out to me. You can message me on Facebook, message me on Instagram. You can text message me. I put my number out there. There are options for you to get treatment. And if you're a family member or a loved one of someone who is, just reach out. Let me know still. We could see what their options are to get them treatment, because a lot of people can't sit on the couch and do this. It's not that easy. It's not just, I'm going to quit. So make sure you guys reach out to me if you need to. And with that being said, shout out Real Talk Recovery. I should have plugged it while I was up still, too busy yakking. Sorry about that, Emily, yakking. Plus, now that this is happening, the doctors won't take me. Message me, Annabella. We'll see what options you have, because it's not done. Just because of coronavirus, there are medical emergencies and people need to get help. So you guys are more than welcome to message me. And I love you guys. Thanks a lot for joining me. But this show is not about Derek doing a show about Derek. This is a show of bringing you guys on, having a community of people who can share where they're at, tell a crazy story. That's all it was about. And we're going to do this again. We're going to come back. Hopefully tomorrow I'll be back on here. Let's just try 1 or 2 p.m. tomorrow. I don't want to do 5 because too many other people are doing videos at that time, and I don't want to do it at the same time. You guys can check me out at 2-ish, 1, 2-ish. And then after that, at 5, I think it is Real Talk Recovery. And then other people, 5, 6 p.m., 7 p.m., will be doing theirs. And I'm Pacific time. So I love you guys. And I appreciate you guys. And you guys help me go another day. So message me if you guys need anything. And thanks, Rico. Appreciate you checking it out. I'm out. Go watch those shows. Don't be too bored. And if you're losing your shit, message me.